Hey folks, Dave Spalding here, and I just want to take a quick minute, make a video because I've had so many of my friends asking me that are trying these Sunrider products why they're working so good. They've tried other herbs, hadn't got very good or any results at all, and they're trying the Sunrider herbs and they're just having fantastic results with these. And I just thought I'd kind of do a quick demonstration because sometimes when you get a visual on the manufacturing process or a little bit of an idea how it works, then sometimes it makes more sense to you. So anyway, I kind of want to start out. This is kind of compared to maybe some other companies in the way they process their herbs. And so this is going to be company B, and we're not going to pick on any company. We're just going to call them company B. And this is a Sunrider company over here, company A. And so right from the start, we want to kind of talk about how these herbs are manufactured and processed, and why they work so well. And so first of all, the Sunrider herbs, or whenever possible, they're grown on the indigenous soil, or basically where they occur naturally. And wherever that might be in the world, if they grow in a certain part of the country, on the sides of the mountains and stuff, that's where they try to get these herbs and plants, because that's where they have their most nutritional value. And if they do have to have farmers farm them in those areas of the country, because the supplies are not keeping up with the demand, they'll work very, very closely with those farmers, and they'll start out right from the seed. They're very, very meticulous and very careful about following that process from the seed to growth right on up through manufacturing. And of course they're 100% organic. You know, they're grown on organic ground, organic soil, and so on and so forth. The other company B, most companies are more concerned with how much money they can make. They know people who are into herbs are going to buy them, and so they want to produce the maximum amount of herbs they can for the least amount of money. And so they'll fertilize the ground. We know that chemicals and fertilizers and commercial fertilizers are bad for the body, and most people that take herbs know that too, and so they're going to shop for the organic ones. But these can be grown with fertilizers and have pesticides sprayed on them, and you can start right out with a really, really bad formula there. But even the companies that grow these organically, they don't really guarantee them against acid rain, which can be just as big of a pollutant or as big of a problem as fertilizers can, or pesticides. And Sunrider tests all of their products for acid rain, and they don't, no other company that I know of does that. And so even if you're buying organic foods from an organic health food store, they don't have to be tested for acid rain to pass the FDA's approval. So keep that in mind, that right from the start, they're very, very careful. And they want to get the very, very best plant that they can to start out with. And then from there, Dr. Chen is a world-renowned herbologist. He has experience with something like over 4,000 herbs. Most herbologists have experience with maybe a couple of hundred. And he's using the manuscripts and testing from over 5,000 years of Chinese experience. And so it's amazing that they've tested things for so long, different combinations and solutions, and their cause and effects on the body. In fact, that's the longest human case study in history. I mean, if you look at our Western medicine, I don't even know how long it's been around, maybe 100 years or something. And it kind of makes you wonder if it could really compete with 5,000 years of research and their research is with natural things, and their focus has been on preventing disease rather than trying to cure disease, and there's a big difference there too. You know, it's kind of like your vehicle. If you just never take care of it and never change the oil or do anything, say I'm just going to fix stuff when they go wrong, it's a lot harder and a lot more expensive to keep up on that vehicle than if you just take care of it, change your oil, and do the regular service and stuff on it. And so a lot of stories about that. You know, they said they buried the emperor's doctor with the emperor, and so there's a big incentive for him to keep him, or incentive to keep him alive. But their whole focus was on prevention and staying healthy, and then they never had to worry about cures. And Western medicine is kind of focused more on cures. And Dr. Chen actually married a medical doctor that's been educated in Western medicines, and so it's quite an interesting combination. But anyway, from there, because of his knowledge and research of herbs, he knows that only this part, maybe just a little tiny part of this plant, we're going to take a little bit here out of the middle, he's found out that that little bit of that plant is the only part that really has any really good benefits to it. And so that's what he's going to start at with, to further concentrate and to extract the herbs that he wants for his product. So he's going to start out with just a small amount there to work with. Where your company B, you know, we're using green onions here for this demonstration, and I don't know that there's a green onion herb, but for demonstration purposes, that's what we're doing. And so company B over here, you know, they can, that's all green, organic green onions. And so they can take all of those herbs, throw them in a blender, blend them up, and process them. And every bit of that, you know, is organic green onions. And you can see here they're going to be able to produce a lot more product than Sunrider is from that same plant. And so it's kind of crazy, you know, they do all that meticulous taking care of that plant, and then in the end they only use a small part of it. You know, of course, a company that's more interested in the bottom line wants to use every bit of that. So from there, what happens is where you really start seeing the differences in the Sunrider product. First of all, this company probably bought these products all from different parts of the world. They didn't control the growing process themselves, so they really don't know where this plant came from. Could have sat on loading docks for several weeks in boxes. It could have got different kinds of rodents and spiders and bugs and germs and bacteria on them. And so they know they're going to be getting inspected, and their number one concern is not for you to get any of that bacteria or any of those germs or any of that rodent crap that's going to hurt you or make you sick. And so they run it through a pasteurization or a process that kills all of that bacteria. And the problem with killing that bacteria is they also kill all the live enzymes in that plant. And we know from experience that it's the live enzymes is the part of the plant you're really going for. Live enzymes are really important, and like I say, that's one thing that Dr. Chen has learned how to do, is he's learned how to process this food and keep the live enzymes intact. And so, you know, a quick little story is, if you take a calf and you take that calf and you put it on its mother's milk, it can grow to a tremendous size, maybe 400 or 500 pounds, you know, by the time it's weaned from its mother, just on its mother's milk. And if you take that same calf and you take its mother's milk and you homogenize it and pasteurize it and feed it back to that calf will die in 1 to 6 months, because the milk that he's getting doesn't have the live enzymes in it. And that's the same thing with our bodies, and I think that's one of the biggest problems we have with Western society, is the fact that we're not getting any live enzymes in our food anymore. And so people are overweight, they feel like crap, they're trying to eat healthy, they're eating healthy foods, but they don't have any live enzymes in them because of all the processing and things that we do. So anyway, Dr. Chen, over his years and years of experience, he's learned how to process these food and keep all of the live enzymes intact. And there's no other company that I know of that's been able to do that. In fact, he's had several companies come to him and want him to process their herbs because they know of no other way of doing it. And he refuses to do it because he wants to be able to control that process right from when they're a seed all the way up through the manufacturing, through all the distribution channels. He knows that you have to start right from the beginning to have a really high quality product. And so anyway, he's refused to do that, and that's one of the reasons that you know, it's really important to have live enzymes. But as I was saying before, they want to make sure that there's no germs, no bacteria, anything on that, and the only way they can do that is subject that to a high heat or a higher heat pasteurization process that's going to kill all the germs and bacteria on them herbs, but in the same process it's going to kill all the live enzymes. So in the end, you can probably eat as much of that as you want, and it's not going to do you near as much good as just a little bit of this. So and by the same token, you could take this and you could see, you could put that in a blender and grind it up and bake it or do whatever. You probably make 3 bottles of this with that, you know. And with the Sunrider product, you can see that by the time he concentrates and extracts that little bit, you're going to need a whole bunch more than that just to make one bottle. And so looking at it now, you know, you might see a bottle of the Sunrider product for $40, and you might see a bottle of another company's product for $20. And in reality, the Sunrider product is a much better buy. I mean, you might could eat 10 or 15 bottles of that other product and really not see any results, where just a little bit of the Sunrider product would give you some really good results. So that's the main reason you get the results with the Sunrider. And then just to further kind of explain to you why it works so much better, is through all these years and years of Chinese research, they've found out that certain formulas work better together, work better synergistically. In other words, by putting 5 or 6 or 8 or 9 or 10 herbs together, you're gonna be able to feed a certain system in the body much better than just by giving it one herb. It's just not one cure-all for anything. In fact, we should get a wide variety of foods, a wide variety of herbs, and a wide variety of you know, fruits, vegetables, whatever it is you're going to eat. Give you a wide variety of different kinds of live enzymes. And through all this, through all of this 5,000 years of research, he's learned that certain formulas and so on and so forth work better synergistically together. And so this is one of his products, Quinery, and it's actually a formulation. This feeds all 5 parts of your body. He makes formulas that, Sunrider has formulas that feed different parts of your body, and those can be bought separately, the 5 different systems in your body. Those can all be bought separately, and there's a little bit of all of those products combined into the Quinery, so it feeds all 5 of your body systems. So this one actually has more herbs than any of the other ones, and I think I counted these yesterday, and I think there's like 47 herbs in that one product. So just to try to imagine, you know, what kind of food you'd have to bring home from an organic food store, what kind of herbs. You'd have to have 47 different herbs. You'd have to know how to get the best parts of each herb, and you'd have to be able to keep that in your kitchen and keep it from spoiling. And it would just cost you hundreds and hundreds of dollars just for enough to last a few days, and what you can get here that'll keep for several months. So anyway, I appreciate you taking the time to learn about these formulas, and maybe learn a little bit about why they actually work so much better, and this will give you an idea why we're having such good success with them. So you can get more information at www.regenerateyourlife.info. If you want to buy products, there's some links you can click on to sign up as a member, and you can also sign up if you want as an independent business owner, which will give you a 20% discount on all your products. But again, that's www.regenerateyourlife.info. Get more information there, and we'll see you next time.